Hey guys, ViscoseComb24 here, bringing you a real quick redstone tutorial on how to build this. It is a 5x5 cave door, which I've tried to keep cheap, fast, have a nice synchronized animation, and compact. And I'm pretty happy with the outcome. This door only uses 4 total observers and 4 normal pistons for soft inversion. And if you don't know what soft inversion is, here's a real quick cut. So, soft inversion is just the idea that when you power a piston with a torch on it, the torch will turn off. It doesn't matter how you power the piston or if the piston can extend, the torch will just turn off if the piston is activated. But regardless, it is pretty cheap, all things considered, and I'm very happy with the size as well. As you can see here, it is 11 blocks wide, 13 blocks tall, and 5 blocks deep. So it has a volume of 715 blocks and is actually only 1 block away from being layout sized. Although if I were to cut a block off the bottom, the price would probably skyrocket. So yeah, now that you've seen that, I guess without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So now to start off this door, you're going to want to first build up 4 from the ground, 2 out on either side, and then break out that block and that block. Put a block there and there as well, and then put sticky piston facing up there, and another sticky piston facing up there. You can also do the same on the back of both of those blocks. Put a block in between them, and then put a sticky piston facing up right there. Behind these, you're going to want to put 3 double piston extenders. Break out these temporary blocks, and then you can fill in your floor. Once you've done that, this is where your input will be. Put dust on that block, and then you can hard power any 4 of those blocks, and the door will activate. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be putting my input there. And to continue, put a block down, block up, block down, block up, and then block down and block up. Put repeaters on all of those lower blocks, and put them all on 1 tick except for this one, which you need to set to 2 ticks. Go over to this side, place 2 blocks, dust on that one, 2 tick repeater on that one, and for this part you're going to need to break out a little bit of the floor. Put a piston facing down there, torch, block, and another torch, and then replace your flooring. Repeat the same thing on the other side, first starting with a block with dust on it, break out your floor, piston facing down, torch, block, and another torch, and then you can replace your floor again. Now go to this piston back here, place a torch on the back of it, block down, block up, block down, block up, redstone on both of those blocks, then put a sticky piston facing towards the front of the door with a block on its face right there, and you can copy this to the other side. Now start off with putting 2 blocks down to continue your door. Block up, block down, block up, and another one down. Break out your 2 temporary blocks, put dust on both of those blocks, 4 tick repeater there, and a 3 tick repeater right there. Mirror this over to the other side, again, 2 blocks down, block up, down, break out the temporary blocks, 2 dust, 4 tick repeater, and a 3 tick repeater. Now when you flick your lever, you should see your extenders will all extend, and when you turn it all off again, they will retract. Now, for the next part, before we continue on to the walls, you need to do one last thing. Place a normal piston facing in on this block right here. Place a torch on the side of it. Another block, another torch. 2 more blocks going towards the back. Block up. And then a glass block right there. Put dust on that block just like so. 4 tick repeater and 4 tick repeater. And then a normal piston facing up on top of that sticky piston. Now, to continue, you're going to want to build up your walls. They should be 5 deep and 5 high. Now go over to this block, torch, block, and torch. And then you can do the same thing on the other side as well, because this is just something to really quickly put in. It'll be the input for your sides. Now to put in the layout, break out these 3 blocks, and then those 2. Place a temporary block right there. 3 sticky pistons. You can break out the temporary block, place another one, and then put in your double piston extenders. Now you can fill in your wall and break out the temporary block. To continue this, place a block there and there. Dust on that block and that piston. Then torch, block, another torch, and then a sticky piston facing in towards the middle of the door, just like so. You can put a block on top of this torch as well. And the next part I'll leave up to you. You can either put a torch right here, or you can put a block with dust on top of it. It's up to you. And I personally go with the block with dust, just because it's a little bit cheaper. Now this next part is specific only to this side, so you won't have to mirror this over to the other side. But what you need to do is place in your redstone block, normal piston facing down right above it, and then a double piston extender facing in towards the middle of the door, just like that. Now go over to here, place a torch on the side of that block, 3 blocks like so, dust, redstone repeater, torch, block, 2 torches like so, block underneath that piston and a block right there, repeater on that block, and then a block right here with a repeater on it. And once you've done that, you're actually going to need to break out that piston temporarily, so you can put in one of 4 observers in this build, facing down right there, running into a block. On top of it, put a 4-tick repeater. Then you can replace your sticky piston. Place a block there, and then a block up, like so, although this will need to be obsidian, and I'll show you why later on. Then put dust there. Go over to this piston, put a block up top there, 4 dust, block, and then 1 more dust. Now, once you have that, you're almost ready. But now, here's why you needed this to be obsidian. You're going to want to put a piston pointed into that obsidian block, torch, block, 1-tick repeater, and then you can put either dust or a block here. I'm personally just going to go with dust, and then a torch on the side of that piston like so. Now when you flick your lever, you should see the sides all extend. When you flick it again, they all retract, and because your ceiling will be here, the redstone block gets hidden. Now onto the other side. Again, you're going to want to start off by building a wall 5 deep and 5 tall. Now break out these 3 blocks and then another 2. Go back here, place in a temporary block, then put 3 pistons like so. And I'm just going to cover them up. Break out your temporary block and place another one there. Double piston extenders, just like that. Break out that block. And now you can get on to the rest of the wiring. So place a block there, dust on that block and that piston, another block up, and 2 more torches like so. Now put your sticky piston facing in towards the middle of the door there, block up there and there, then block here with dust on it. Then you're going to want to go down here, place a torch on the side of that block, 3 blocks like so, dust, torch, and then a torch with a block on top of it, and then another torch. Put a block right there, and then put a redstone repeater on it. Now break out your piston here again, so you can place the second observer right there, running into a block. 4-tick repeater on top of it, and then you can replace your sticky piston, although it might be a little bit awkward to put in. Put a block there, block up, doesn't have to be obsidian this time, then dust on top of that block. Once you have that, put 5 dust like so, and now when you flick your lever again, you should see both sides extend and both sides retract in synchronization. Now onto the ceiling. You're going to want to just build it in, 5 by 5 ceiling. Then break out these 3 blocks, place a temporary block right there, and then place in 3 sticky pistons facing down. You can break out that block and fill in these. Then place a temporary block right there, break out that block, then place a double piston extender there. Break out that block again, but you can leave this block as well as this one, and then put in a triple piston extender facing down right there. Once you have that, you're going to want to put a torch on the side of this piston, and then get out a block that can update an observer. I'm personally going to go with a lamp. You could also do a bell, You could do a piston. You could do a hopper, dropper, dispenser, anything that would give an observer an update. And then an observer facing down right there. Put a block there, 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 and there. A lot of blocks right there. Now put 5 dust, just like so. 1 tick repeater, then 4 ticks, and 4 ticks. Place a block right there. 3 dust. Then you can place a block there and there. Put dust on both of them, and I'll get to why you have to do that later. Now go over to this triple piston extender again. Place an observer pointing out from that top piston, running into a block. Block down. You can also place a block there and there. And then 2 more blocks up and down, like so. Put a repeater on 2 ticks there. Dust. A block there. 1 tick repeater, 1 tick repeater, and a 3 tick repeater. And then you need to get a repeater input right in there. And once you have that, you're almost ready, although I forgot. You need to put glass with dust on top of it, 2 tick repeater, 1 dust, and now when you flick your lever again, you should see that your door is all done. Almost. One last thing. Dust and then a 1 tick repeater, and that'll handle the final retraction for your double piston extender. There you are. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this real quick tutorial. Again, I really tried my hardest to keep this door fast, have a nice synchronized animation, and as cheap as possible while also keeping it relatively compact. And I'm rather happy with how compact it is. So yeah, that's just a bit of this video. Hope you all enjoyed. I'm ViscoSComb24, and I'll see you all next time.